Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is hope now a ticking time bomb? Shocking predictions after November 20's Bold and the Beautiful. Is something wrong with Hope? Or is she finally owning up to her bad girl ways? Concerns about Hope grow on the Wednesday, November 20th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Even her own mom has been worried about her lately. She has changed a lot over the years. So do they have a right to be concerned? Hope Annika Noel hasn't been herself lately. After she turned down Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, proposal, she fantasized about being with Finn, Tanner Novlan. There was also that issue of her drunkenly kissing him. Now, Hope has set her sights on Carter, Lawrence St. Victor. In a shocking twist, she fell in love with him. Hope is loving that Carter has become her #1 fanboy. She even encouraged him to mess with the LLC papers to retain control of Forrester Creations. Carter willingly signed the papers. He showed up to Forrester with vengeance. He warned Ridge, Thorsten Kaye, and Steffi, Jacqueline McKen's Wood, that things could get ugly if they don't reconsider firing Hope. Gone to the dark side. In Wednesday's episode, Hope's descent into madness was foretold. Taylor, Rebecca Budig, brought up her concerns about Hope to Finn. She remembered the time when Hope was known for her upstanding morals. Taylor didn't see the day when Hope would turn into her mother. She joked that Hope took a trip to the dark side. This could predict Hope's villain arc. Even her mom knows that something is wrong with her daughter. Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, has been worried about Hope, especially after her firing. She has every reason to be concerned. Hope hasn't been herself lately, and she could continue to fall from grace. Brooke will overhear the hostile takeover situation. All the talk has been on Carter's character assassination, but it's Hope who underwent a dramatic change. She's no longer the good girl she portrayed herself to be. However, some B&B viewers would argue that she always had loose morals. For example, Hope seduced Liam, Scott Clifton, when he was with Steffi, who was pregnant with his child. To them, it's the same wolf in new sheep's clothing. Hope was always her mother's daughter. She's just owning it this time around. But she could become a ticking time bomb now that she's out for revenge, especially if Carter's takeover plan doesn't fall into place. Find out how his plan could destroy the Logans. After the explosive events on the Bold and the Beautiful on November 20, Hope Logan, Annika Noel, may very well be on the verge of becoming a ticking time bomb. Known for her gentle nature and her role as the moral compass of the Logan family, Hope has faced her fair share of challenges, from troubled relationships to heart-wrenching personal struggles. However, the most recent storyline has the potential to push her to her breaking point, making fans wonder if Hope will finally snap and take drastic actions that could have lasting consequences for herself and those around her. The catalyst for Hope's possible breakdown. The moment that fans are talking about from November 20 involves Hope's deepening frustration with the situation surrounding her marriage to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton. Over the past several months, Hope's life has been marked by intense emotional turmoil and mounting pressure. The tension between her, Liam, and her complicated history with Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, has reached a boiling point, and it seems that Hope might be on the cusp of making some very dangerous decisions. For years, Hope has struggled with balancing her love for Liam and the desire to protect her family, especially her children. However, her situation has become increasingly complex as Liam's lingering emotional attachment to his ex-wife, Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McKen's Wood, and the unresolved feelings between Hope and Thomas have led to growing tension in her marriage. On top of this, Hope's career at Forrester Creations and the responsibility of raising her children have only added to the pressure she faces. The events leading up to November 20 were part of a larger story arc that showed Hope becoming more and more distraught over Liam's mixed signals. Liam's fluctuating emotions regarding Steffi, especially when it comes to their shared daughter Kelly, have been a constant source of tension. Even though Hope and Liam's bond is strong, Liam's continuing emotional pull towards Steffi and her family dynamics, coupled with his passive approach to addressing their relationship issues, has caused cracks to form in their marriage. While Hope has always been the epitome of patience and kindness, it's clear that she has reached a breaking point. In the November 20 episode, viewers witnessed a more agitated and frustrated version of Hope than we're used to seeing. She's been pushed to the edge, and it seems that her heartache and disillusionment with her marriage could lead her down a dark path. Hope's vulnerability and uncertainty. The emotional distance between Hope and Liam is only made worse by Thomas' continued manipulation and presence in her life. Thomas has always had an unhealthy obsession with Hope, and despite his attempts to change, his past behavior still looms large. He's used various tactics to try and wedge himself between Hope and Liam, and despite being seemingly reformed, Thomas' motivations remain questionable. His lingering feelings for Hope and his often obsessive behavior make him a threat to Hope's fragile emotional state. Hope's vulnerability has been on display in recent episodes. She has always wanted to believe in the goodness of people, and part of her struggles with Thomas comes from her belief that people can change. However, her growing frustration with Liam, combined with her lingering issues with Thomas, leaves her in a place of emotional instability. At this point, she's unsure of where her heart truly lies. Is she willing to fight for her marriage with Liam, or will her feelings for Thomas resurface as she becomes more disillusioned with her current situation? Hope's self-doubt and confusion are the perfect breeding ground for a mental breakdown. As a character who has often prided herself on keeping things together for the sake of her family, the constant tension in her life could ultimately cause her to lash out in unexpected ways. Could Hope become a ticking time bomb? If there's one thing Hope has always prided herself on, it's her ability to stay calm, collected, and focused on doing what's best for her loved ones. But as the walls close in around her, it seems that her usual approach may no longer be enough to maintain her composure. The idea of Hope becoming a ticking time bomb seems more likely than ever as the pressures she faces from all sides begin to mount. There are several factors that could push Hope over the edge. Liam's ambivalence. Liam's inability to make a decision between his wife, Hope, and his ex-wife, Steffi, has left Hope feeling like she's always second best. While she has always been patient and understanding, Hope is only human, and at some point, even the most patient person will have enough. If Liam continues to keep his distance emotionally and fail to commit fully to Hope, it's possible that Hope will make a drastic decision about her future, one that could lead her down a path of revenge or separation. Thomas' manipulation. Thomas has never fully let go of his obsession with Hope, and it's only a matter of time before his underlying feelings threaten to cause even more chaos. Despite his attempts to change and his ongoing efforts to win Hope's trust, there is always the fear that Thomas could once again cross the line. His proximity to Hope and his insistence on being part of her life in the name of family and business might eventually erode her emotional defenses. Thomas has already done significant damage to Hope's emotional state in the past, and it's easy to see how his continued interference could push her over the edge. Hope's emotional overload. Hope is under pressure from every direction: her troubled marriage, her complicated relationship with Thomas, her desire to prove herself at Forrester Creations, and her responsibility to her children. All of this is taking a toll on her mental health, and it's clear that she's nearing a breaking point. The stress of being constantly pulled in multiple directions could cause Hope to finally snap, whether that means making a rash decision, taking extreme actions to confront Thomas or Liam, or even jeopardizing her relationships and career. Loss of self-worth. For much of her life, Hope has defined herself through her relationships and her role as a mother and wife. She has always been a kind-hearted, selfless character. But when those around her fail to recognize her needs and desires, it can lead to feelings of worthlessness and insecurity. If Hope begins to feel like she's not valued, or that her emotional well-being is being ignored, she could very well lash out in an attempt to regain control of her own life. Whether that means breaking away from Liam, pushing Thomas to the brink, or even making a drastic business decision at Forrester Creations, Hope's emotional state could cause her to act impulsively. What could happen next? Hope's potential breakdown could lead to a number of explosive situations in the coming episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful. Whether she chooses to confront Liam about his mixed feelings, cut ties with Thomas once and for all, or make an irreversible decision regarding her family.